morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hope y'all having a fantastic day. Robert Roy here from WealthbuildersHQ.com. Let's go ahead and make sure you all can hear me. If you would please, in the chat box, if you would type the number one for yes, two for no is how I really want you to answer. It makes it real easy. One for yes that you can hear me would be awesome. Nothing worse than talking for the next hour and no one's able to hear you. So let's go ahead and make sure that you guys can. All right. I appreciate that. Thank you so very, very, very much. Voodoo, welcome, my friend. All right. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Good. Three. There you go, Dylan. I love it. How many aren't going to raise your hand no matter what I ask? Exactly, right. Okay. Let me just flip this over here. All right. So let's take a look at pre-market, what's going on, right? Real quick, ES, I did a couple of, now it is market, not pre-market. I did a couple of videos on this today. We had this great drop-off in the overnight session on the ES, and then we got into this sideways channel where we've got this pressure cooker building up right now on the ES, right? Breaking above that 96 level, it's 42.96.43, breaking above that level there. You know, we're looking at some bullish potential entry. Break down below, we're looking at some bearish stuff. So let's go and look, since we just hit the open. Looks like we're getting pops on the YM. NQ is still pushing down. RUT is really not doing anything. So let's go look at the equities markets and see what's happening there. All right, we'll start off with the S&P 500. A lot of red, guys. Sea of red over here. Amgen is up. The VIX is up. Well, no kidding. We'll talk about VIX in a moment. But here's the drop off on the S&P 500. Let me make it full screen. Right? Here's our drop off today on the S&P. We dropped and opened up 43.21-ish. And right now we're at 43.04. So what's different here than what we're looking at over here on this chart? Well, everything you just saw happen on this chart here on the S&P 500 index, that already happened on this chart from last night. From all the way here, all of this until right now is what's being represented. So this drop in there from, grab a drawing tool, from here down to where we are right now, that's all one big candle, right? And again, one big candle, it's really not that way. The candle opens here, right? That's where our candle winds up opening up on the opening price of the 930 setup. So that's why we're looking at a variation or a difference in there. So let's keep our eye on the market for a little bit, see what's happening there. Unemployment came out this morning. I think the market was hoping that was going to help. It did not. The unemployment numbers were worse than expected, worse than the last time around, but that's also doesn't account for whatever revisions will come in next week on that. But we probably will see some. But for today, we're down. But it wasn't the unemployment number that drove us down. That was what the hope was, to push us back up. Drove us down is just a myriad of different things that were announced out there today. We don't really have a singular, this is because of something with China or Russia, or because of an economic report, or because of, you know, Amazon came out and said the world's coming to an end. We don't have any one thing. The inflation fears, all of that added in, what's going on with this new stimulus package. Does it get approved, not approved? Defund the police, don't defund the police. There's so much craziness in New York. Some of the things that are going on here, how bad real estate is in the city. You can get apartments cheaper than you can get them where I am on Long Island in some cases, in some places there. That's how much inventory they're sitting on over there. So, yeah, thinking about it, I also sold on AMC. What week did you sell them for? July 9? So that's this week. So I don't know. We'll take a look at AMC because I've got some puts sold on them also. If I get hit, I'll buy them back, call it a day, right? AJ said I sold a 32 put on AMC. We'll take a look at AMC. Actually, we probably should pull it up since so many of you are talking it right now. I haven't looked at it yet this morning. So we're at 40.77. So if we go over here, right? I do all of my, guys, I use two different platforms. I do all of my daily work, the stuff I want to keep day in and day out. I do all of that on a program called Omega Charts, one that we offer at WealthbuildersHQ.com. And right now we're sitting at 40.78. Last week I talked about if you had more risk tolerance, you would be looking at something below that $48 level. For me, I'm down below the 40.78 level. So if we look at AMC right now, all right, let's see, we got an option chain on it. If we look at AMC right now, let's get them all. And the stock is at $41 right now. So the at the money put is trading at 207 by 220, right? So about 215 is the mid price on it right now. We have 2 full days left. You got all of today and all of tomorrow. If we can hold at that $40 level, we have here, let's insert gamma. I try not to keep it on here for when we teach because it makes the screen just a little bit smaller, everything we add, right? So this is showing we've got a gamma of 7. Well, that's ridiculous. That's not going to happen. How much of that time value is going to deteriorate between now and tomorrow, right? Let's see. We've got an 8 gamma on here. So our delta is 49 at that $41 strike price. So if we move $1 up or down, we're going to take this to 56 or 40. We're going to move by 7. It was 8 by 7 or 8, right? Theta says we're going to lose 86 cents overnight just for the day passing by. So if we can hold at that 40-ish level, if that level remains support, we should be okay. We start breaking that $41 level, then it's time to consider buying the position back. All right. Yeah, it's crime. Hey, Hurt Scrambler, how you doing? JR said, I sold the SPCE $42 put for tomorrow. So if we look at SPCE, and I want to jump in and look at some candidates, guys. Let's get this one to register. Sold the 42. Yeah, it's, I mean, same thing. We got to hold that $43 level. Looks like we're getting a little bounce off of it today. And you'll see that a lot. You will see over and over again how stocks tend to go to a level, a fib level, and bounce, right? So let's see. We've got 5 minutes open on the market now. We're into our second candle. So there's that little bounce. We'll see if it holds, right? If we come back to AMC and we put in the 40.78 level, right? Let's snap a line at 40.78. 40.78. All right. All right. So now you can see where the support is. So we start breaking, and there's, believe it or not, there are people that don't look at fibs are watching this level, whether they realize it or not. And tell me, if fibs don't work, tell me, why did we gap to that level? Human emotion brings things where it is, right? Our belief, when we look at something, say, this is just what looks like it's going to go to, or, you know, this house doesn't look very attractive, or this person is not very attractive, or this piece of art or music doesn't sound right. Every bit of it, Fibonacci. If you're not using it in the market, I think you're making a mistake. There's a huge benefit value in the market using indicators like fibs. All right. So I've got my list of who I want to look at today. So I'm going to go ahead and now listen. The market's getting crushed. I was watching Spencer in the pre-market show there at the end. For those of you that transferred over from that, I was watching Spencer, and he was talking about being an investor and not a trader / investor, right? So these are the days the investors have to deal with, right? I'm not going to take advantage of the move that's here today on what's taking place. The problem is, if you are using any technical indicators, you know, if I switch over to Alibaba, right? Let me open the chart up, right? I go to Alibaba. And look at the moving averages. They're wiped out. What does that mean? It's going to take 10, 15, 20 bars before we get those moving averages to come back in line with what we're looking at here. All right? Because the gap down this morning has made it complicated. If you go to Booking was at a great setup yesterday for bearish. You go to Booking and look at the gap down. Now, we've had a big gap and run. That first 5-minute candle on Booking is almost impossible because you're going to have a $4 or $5, maybe $8 bid-ask spread on a Booking. Expensive stock, not for the faint of heart. I love trading it. It's a phenomenal company. CMG had a great run to the upside, has had a great run to the upside. If I just show longer term on the 5-minute, You can see that great run up. But when we break it down into the 5 minute, even yesterday we had a good day, and look at the gap down. Now we're recovering some. I'm not saying we're going to stay here, but that's what I'm looking for. Is there an overreaction that we could take advantage of and say, ooh, let me try to capitalize on this position? So if we look here at Alibaba, hit the wrong dang key. There we go. BABA. All right. So, Rob, what are you laughing at? Actually, that's not what I want to do, right? We closed right here yesterday. In an ideal world, today I'd be looking for a pullback up to that 211 and a fail. Instead, we gapped down to where? Right down to that horizontal black line that's there, which is a fib line. Guys, why is everything opening at these levels? You can't tell me that Fibonacci's don't work. They do. You need to learn how to use these indicators, right? Exactly, Chewy. I am looking for the opportunity on these deals, right? And for me, I was talking to Aaron before we got started here this morning. I said, and I started the conversation off with, what a crazy day, huh? And he goes, yeah, we're down quite a bit. And I said, yeah, I hope we get 4 or 5 more days like it. And I know the investors in you just went, because your portfolio is going to drop, but we are too high on prices of stocks. I would love to see these pullbacks take place to give me more buying opportunities. And maybe not for me as much in the equity, but buying on longer term options, leap options. I own them on multiple positions, right? I own on multiple positions. The Apples of the world, as an example, I own a leap option on, right? It's just a long-term option that's more than 6 months of time, right? For me, I'm a big fan of them as my investment vehicle instead of buying the equity itself. I don't need $3,000 to buy Amazon. I need $100 to buy Amazon, or $150 or whatever the number is per share, okay? So you got Baba pulling down there today. Let's go back to CMG because I want to see where that pulled down to, right? So CMG, too many platforms open right now on StreamYard. We go through the same thing with our own StreamYard there, right? So here, we pulled down to the moving average and we started to take a bounce. There may be an opportunity in there intraday on CMG. Now, CMG, I'd be looking only as a day trade for sure. I would not be looking at this as a swing trade right now. Let's see what we would do as far as an option goes. If I'm looking at a day trade, and this is why you want to make sure that you understand the companies that you're looking to trade. If I'm looking at a day trade, I'm going to go for a delta of 65 to 85. So here's my 66 delta. Let me get rid of gamma again in there just to make it a little bit bigger. Okay. So I've got a 66 delta. I need at least 100 open interest. I've got it. We're good to go. 1640 by 2180. Nah. I'm not getting into this trade. 17, 18, 19, 20. $5 underwater. I'm not getting into the trade $5 underwater when I hit enter. One contract, $50. 10 contracts, $500. I'm not doing it. There's a little bit too much play in that number right now. Let's see what Baba is doing as far as options, how much they're playing with it. So Baba has continued to push to the downside. So let's see what's going on with Baba. 545 by 610. All right, not too bad. That's the option I'd be looking to day trade. Well, that's call. But that's what I'd be looking at for that detail. We got to be over here on the put side. So we're looking at a delta of 65 to 85. So I can get in this Baba trade right now for 345 by 65. I could stretch out to about 345 would be my mid price. Let's see. All right, let's go check the chart real quick on Baba. All right, 201.79 and 200 are the levels that I've got to target. So 201.79 and 200. I can't remember numbers like that, so I write them down. So let's snap 2 lines. First one will change over to 200. I never try to get them exactly. I just click on them and make them exact. All right, 201.79 is the next one. All right, I've got a blue zone drawn in there. Basically what that means is it's an area of support, strength. So, and the blue zone, to define it, if I bring this back, let's see, I may have to go back a little more. All right. So I've got a fib line in there, which is a negative 136. It's called a fibit. And then we've got the 200 level. Those 2 points are where I've got that blue zone drawn in there. Right? So that blue zone is a health zone. And it's named after places around the world like Okinawa that have these blue zones of where people live, and they are healthier than everywhere else in the world. Right? That's where I came up with the name for it. But if you look at this blue zone in here, look where we are now. We're just getting below that 200. Is this going to be a here kitty kitty? What's a here kitty kitty? That's the market maker standing there with his hand behind his back going, here kitty 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 kitty, wham! With a 50-pound sledgehammer, right? Guys, is this a setup? I don't know. But if you're trying to take the breakout right now on the intra candle, it very well could be on the previous candle. Right? If we can get a pullback to that 200 and a fail, there's the opportunity. And that's what you need to be looking for the potential entry. But Rob, what if you miss the trade? What if it just drops and you miss it? Then I miss it. See, I don't ever want you to think it's the last trade. Guys, we've got a support at 192.36. That's our next support level. So if you're taking this trade, it would be a day trade. So what do we need? It's a day trade. You want this week's options. You want to be out of it today. I'm not doing this as an overnight trade. For me, it would be a day trade. I want to be out of it today. I want to wait for the stock to drop, which it has, retest up to the 200, close and or bounce off it, but fail. I'm looking for the failure off of that 200 level. If that happens, then I go over to the option chain. I want an option that expires this Friday. I want a delta of 65 to 85, and I'm going to opt for the higher cost. Normally, if I am swing trading, I'm looking for the delta closest to 65. When I'm day trading and I'm in the mid to end of week, I'm looking more in that 75-ish range, even 80, 85 on some of the lower price stocks as well. Baba being one of the lower price stocks. So if we're looking at a 65 to 85 delta, preferably closer to that 75. I've got 420 by 425, 420 by 35 now is the bid ask on this 202.5 put, which means I can force somebody to buy it at 202.50, and I'm going to pay about $4 for that option ish for me to enter into that trade. If we go back and look at the chart, we haven't pulled up to the 200 level yet. But Rob, you're going to miss it. Man, I feel it in my bones. I just know it's going to keep dropping and you're going to miss the trade. Then I miss the trade. See, guys, I am not looking for the home run. I just had this conversation with someone on my team yesterday that I am not trying to hit 50 home runs a year and bat 220. I'm not. I am trying to get on base over and over and over and over again and bat 340, right? I am looking to be consistent and do it over and over and over and over again. And for you, home runs might work, and that's okay. If that's you as a trader, then you go for it. I gave you the setup. When you got the breakout of 200, that was your potential entry. I gave you all of that. You're good to go. Man, you take the trade, you rock. You go with it. For me, it's not the way I do things. All right, here, I'll show you. Where am I? Here. All right, we're looking at closed trades. We've got 209 minus, there's 3 lines up here that are headers, right? So 206 trades that we've taken this year so far, and I guarantee you I've missed 200 more. I guarantee I missed 200 more of them. Every one of these taken based on highly reliable, highly repeatable, and highly predictable series of rules, strategy, system. None of these were, let me just go ahead and jump in. So CR, for a swing trade or a day trade, 65 to 85 is the delta I want. But with a swing trade, I'm buying at least 30 days. I want to buy closer to the 65. And the reason for that is if we look at a bell curve, All right, and this will do fine here. If I draw this funny, sorry about it. I am not an artiste, especially with a mouse, right? So your 65 delta is right about here. That's a 65 delta. It's a sweet spot. If I have time for appreciation, it is the greatest opportunity at the lowest cost. And that's all it is. Would you be wrong if you bought an 85 delta? Oh, heck no. But you're going to pay 2 to 3 times the price for the option on a trade. So for me, I'd rather not do that. I'd rather buy more of the 65, still have a quality number. You know, if you were down at 20 delta, you're going to be down here. Well, Rob, why not buy at 20? Because for every dollar the stock moves, the option moves 20 cents. That's not what I want. Oh, but if you're long enough out, guys, there are schools of thought on in the money and out of the money. For me, my trading style says in the money, 65 to 85 delta is really what I want to have in there. And that 65 to 85 delta gives me the best opportunity to maximize my profit, right? It capitalizes on how gamma tends to work in that closer to that 65 range, right? Without me having to go to an at the money option, which is a 50 delta, which literally is a coin flip. It's a coin flip. There's a 50-50 shot of being right in that trade. I'd rather not do that if I don't have to. It's a little bit too much risk for me on that 50-50. So CR, it doesn't matter the trade I do unless I'm buying very long-term out, then I might go down to a 40. Again, those leap options. Otherwise, I am looking at a 65 to 85 delta. Let's see. Appreciate that, Donald. Thumbs up, baby. Smash the like button. All right, so let's see what we've got going on. Let's keep looking. All right, look what's happening. We're pulling back up now at this point. Can we get a retest of that 200 and a fail? If so, there's the opportunity to take the trade. I have 3.5, not 3.5, but almost 4 minutes, 3:45 left in that candle, right? If I could get the move up to 200, ideally for me, it closes there. For you, your trading style might be hit the 200 or get near it. It doesn't have to hit it, but it's moving up near it, which it's doing now, right? Get up near it and roll over. That may be enough for you. For me, I'd like to see it preferably, not always, preferably to get the close and the retest, the fail. That lets me know that traders are moving it down. Does it mean I'm right? Absolutely not. Doesn't mean that at all. This could be it. We could be dropping right from here. But guys, if you're ready to take on this trade now, what are we looking at? We're looking on the puts. It's a day trade. We're looking for this week. It expires tomorrow, July 9th. We're looking for a delta of 65 to 85. If you're okay with the 570 by 595, that is where I would prefer to be on that position. You got a 205. You got $5 of that is intrinsic value. It's cash value. It's in the money. There's only $1 of time value in that position. All right. It says you could buy it for 573. I probably wouldn't try to push anything past 565 to 570 on this. It's just too much volatility in the market today. I probably would not go right to the midpoint. You could try it, but I probably wouldn't go right there. All right. If we go back to the chart, we're pushing up to it again. Right now, what happens? See, guys, we got the breakout right here. Right. We got the breakout. And then what happened here? We got a horizontal move to this candle and we pushed down. We got a little bit of a wick. This candle, you had some buyers step in, right? You had it on the breakout as well, but you had some buyers step in here. Look at volume on the lower pane down in here. You had buyers step in. Okay. Now what? Well, we get to move up. We push back into the 200 level, right? We push into the 200 level. And now if we start to break that 200 level, those buyers, put buyers, those that are chasing after the options are freaking out, or shorted the stock, are freaking out. Why? Because they took the breakout and did not wait for a retest. A retest will always give you a better opportunity to be right, but it gives you a better opportunity to miss the trade, or more of an opportunity, I should say, to miss out on the trade. So caution there. If you're chasing after a position, make sure you know whether it's a breakout or a retest, what the ramifications are for taking either one of them. Markets falling to, going to hell in a handbasket and just collapsing, crushing, right? I'm not waiting for a retest. I'm all in, right? On the first candle, I am all in. 500 points down, that's a big move, but we're not falling apart on YM, 50 points on the S&P. We're not falling apart. We're back to where we were a couple of days ago. 9/11, God forbid, hit. Some major news, right? Like that. Something major comes out and we just start crashing down. I'm jumping in without waiting for a retest, right? So what do we have left here now? About 30 seconds on this candle. Let's see what happens. All right. So why are we toying with these lines, guys? See, from a technical standpoint, you need to understand that. I am not an emotional trader. Let me rephrase that. Emotion's always in every trade. But I am not trading off, I think it's going down. So right now is where we're getting the fail. For me, it's going to get a little bit small, but I'm going to look at a 1-minute chart. And I want to see what a 1 minute is doing. The 1 minute is to the left. The furthest chart over to my left side there on the top row. That's 1 minute. The 5 minute is the middle one, where my mouse is now. Right? The one is over here. If I can get some consistent bearishness in the 1 minute, now I've got a reason to take the trade. I mean, my daily is definitely bearish, which is bottom center. My 30-minute is definitely bearish, bottom left. I need the 1 to confirm what the 5 seems to be telling me so I can prevent myself from the breakout above that 200 and getting caught on the wrong side. But with a volatile day like today, could that happen? Without a doubt. Absolutely, without a doubt it could. Right? So for some, today may be position number 1 in the chair for you, which means this. See, some of you have seen me do this before. Position number 1, sitting back, hands behind head, or sitting on hands, either one, whatever works for you. I like this. I'm very comfortable. Right? I cannot reach the keyboard. I cannot place a trade. I can't do anything. I'm watching intently. I'm focused on the markets, but I am not trying to jump in on this position right now. All right. So let's keep going and look at a couple of others. Just for the sake of, I want to see if there's something else we can't find in here. Tesla is down $16. Apple is down 3. PANW is down 8. And Roku is down 6. So let's start off with Tesla. Actually, let's do it this way. Let's go over here to Tesla. Tesla made the move down to the 619 and bounced. It opened up about where it is right now. It pushed down to a low this morning of 620.46, $1.46 above our fib line there. If I give you a bigger picture, just so you can see it. Right? So here's the fib line. You can see the whole fib, right? We'll zoom back in on it. And we're getting a little bit of a bounce off it. Could you take the bounce off the 619? Yes, you can. Right? Or you wait for the break of it, the retest, and the fail. But you'll see a lot of positions have moved to Fibonacci levels. And these aren't things that I drew up this morning, hoping that everything would move to that level when the markets opened today. All right? So we've got Tesla. Right? We've got Apple, PANW. Now, Tesla was already in bearish pattern. Apple, not so much. Right? Apple has had a very nice bullish run. Right? But where did Apple gap to? Apple gapped right below a fib line. Came back up and retested it and failed. If you're looking for a short-term bearish entry on Apple, we would look at that 141.91 as our potential entry. But the problem is I've got support about that 139.5 level at my moving average. So we've gone too far on Apple, so probably not making it for me today. So I'll pull Apple out of my list. Let me just get all of these empty spaces out of there. All right, so Apple's out of the list. Let's go look at PANW and Roku. So there are days like today that you may have no choice but to sit back and call it a day and say, all right, I'm done. Right? So PANW, this is a trade with Rob candidate from the other day. Right? This came out. I put my order in. Was it trade with Rob? It might have been one of the power option plays trades. Either way, we took it's trade with Rob. I can see how I got targets drawn out on it. We took the entry on the open, not where I wanted to be on this day. Our first target was 380. Our second target was 388. And we rolled back over and look where we are right now. All right. So where did we gap down to? Whenever you see these red lines, black lines, blue lines, or this purple line, there's only one purple. Whenever you see those like this, they've got numbers on the right side. They are all fib levels. Okay. They're all fib levels. Right. So PANW, the potential is down to 373. You've got a little bit of room in there, $6. Let's see what we'd have to look at on PANW for a option, for an option. So on the put side, I don't have a whole lot of open interest this week. I can go out to next week and see what we have there. I've got not a whole lot of open interest on the puts either. PNW has had a heavy focus on calls. You can see 1,000 open interest, 500, 300, 500. So we've had some good interest there. PANW would become expensive for me to go this far out. So I would pass on PANW for a day trade today. All right. So I just saw something about AMC is ripping. Let's see. So, all right. Don't know if you meant up or down, but look where we bounced. Look where we bounced. If you get nothing else from today, I hope you take away from today how important these levels are. It's human emotion that you don't even know exists. If you look at a person, I'll give you an example. If you look at George Clooney and go, well, that's a good looking guy, right? Or Jessica Simpson, that's a good looking woman, right? She's pretty, she's attractive, whatever word you want to use. Okay. If you do that and you look at them, and there's a Fibonacci mask that you can overlay on a person. It's a computer thing. You kind of get in your camera, snap your picture, and the mask goes over it, right? You can do it on an app on your phone too. And it will show you how close to accurate or 100% you are from Fibonacci's. The distance between the center of your eyes, from the center of your eyes to your nose, to your lips, to your chin, to your head, your ears, to your nose, to your center. All of that is Fibonacci. Your height, how many inches, your fingers off of the ground when you stand up. If you've ever seen Medicine Man, there's the science one. The guy's like this. The legs are out, arms are out sideways. That's all Fibonacci, all right? It's human emotion. When you look at someone and say, wow, that person's really attractive, or that's a great looking house versus, man, that's an ugly house, right? They were not designed with Fibonacci. What you're basically doing is make a table 7 feet long and 3 inches off the floor. Yeah, something's not right on that. I don't see the use other than a tripping hazard, right? It's got to be designed to a certain specifications. Music, math, art, all the same thing. Ugly painting, attractive painting. It's no different here. We went right to that level. We are bouncing. So I said, if we can hold that $41 level, we're okay. If we break, we've got a little bit of support down below on the 55 moving average, 37.71. But I'm not banking on that being my stopping point, saying, ooh, we're okay. We're holding here. No, right? Also, with today's overreaction, if we could just maintain around where we are, a little lower on the markets, on AMCs, the GMs, the GameStops of the world, tomorrow, unless more bad news, we'll probably get more of a flattish to a slight bounce unless the news continues. But we don't have we're going to war. This many troops were just sent out tomorrow. This many more troops were sent out the next day. We don't have that continuation of news on an item. If that starts to happen, then that's where we'll see more of that weakness. All right, let's see. The Da Vinci Code, Jeff, you got it. Exactly. Good, Cruz. I'm glad you're liking it. Would you be able to add Fibonacci levels to whatever chart you're using, and the fib level should give you an idea of where a stock should go up or down? Yes. So I have fib levels drawn on every major stock that I have, right? Every major stock there is, I have fib levels drawn on that. what I probably, I shouldn't say I don't. GOOG. I trade the L, so I may not have them on the Goog. Okay. So let's do this. I just took it off. All right, let's go here. If you look, and let me get rid of the crosshair. Let me grab a pen. I want V bottoms and V tops. Right? I have a V bottom here. Good move. There's a V top. This is all sideways, so I could draw a fib in here. I have what would be a V bottom here. This move up, kind of sideways drift up. Oh, that's a nice clean V top. So I could draw from here. I've got that V bottom in here. I would call that a hiccup. We had a gap down and we kind of just filled it right back in. Continued in there. We got a little V top in there, right? New V bottom and kind of a rounding top, not really a V top, but we have it in there. So I would look for the largest distance, the biggest one, and that is where I would look to draw the fibs from. So if I go ahead and grab my fib tool and snap in here. All right, now there is an indicator that I have created for Fibonacci. It is called a Fibit. So let's see, I need about, what's my distance inside of these two lines? It's 100 points. I need to split that level in half. It's too big of a distance, right? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add a split in there, which is a -136 fib line. They're called Fibits, Fibonacci pivots. And look at how much importance was just put on that level, on that line. Watch, let me grab the pen. We just lived for weeks. We bounced, we went to this level. We failed, not quite at 26.1983. Oh, but Rob, see, fibs don't work. It didn't get there. Support and resistance never works exactly to the penny over and over again. It only goes to 84.13 and then bounces. And then the next time, guaranteed 84.13 and bounces. It doesn't work that way. But look at where we are today at a fib line. Not stuff I pre-did, guys. I did this one right in front of you, right? You can use it for any chart, for any pattern. I don't like them on very low-cost positions because this becomes very small between the two fib lines. You know, I can draw it on a Ford as an example. Here, well, let's see. Right? I need a new fib on here. Never delete your fibs. Move them back and save them, always. Never delete them. You may need the previous levels on there. Not that it can't be used. But my move from one line to the next, 13.25 to 13.85, we've got, you know, what is that? 60 cents? 25.85, 60. It's about 60 cents distance in there. There's not a lot of room for movement, but it is a lower price stock. But you can draw them on any chart that you have, without a doubt. Let's see. Space-time continuing. Do you prefer simple moving averages or exponential? Thinking about it, I use exponential on anything 55 and under. I don't use traditional moving averages. I don't use the 10 and 20. I don't. I have done 4.5 million days of moving average backtests. From my style of trading, found that 8 and 21 are my best moving averages. 55 is more of a secondary moving average, but then I don't use 200. I use a 233. Right? I use an 89. I use a 144. I don't use the 100s, right? I use other levels, but when I get above 55, so anything which would start with 89, anything from 89 or higher would go to simple. On my intraday or my shorter term are all going to be 5, 8, 21, 55 are all exponential. Right. Pete said fib in furniture or architecture is called the golden rule, ratio of height to width to depth. Yeah, I've got the fib calipers for I'm a woodworker. So I've got the fib calipers to figure all that stuff out, because the very first bowl I ever turned for my wife, I said, "What do you think? You know, we could put it in the kitchen." She's like, "I don't know." So you don't like it? She goes, there's something off about it. Yeah, the dimensions I made, it looked terrible. It was horrible. My ratios of the diameter to the height, it was not good, right? At all. Tom said, looks like you're using TradeStation. How do you like the platform? I like it, Tom. There are things I like better on TOS. There are things I like better on TradeStation. I use TradeStation, TOS, and Tasty. But most of my trading is done on TradeStation, right? And part of that is I'm just very comfortable with TradeStation. I don't really know some of the other platforms as well, but there are limitations on some of what I like being able to set an exit on my option based on the stock price, not on the option price. Tasty, the last time I had checked it might have changed, was not able to do that. They were working on it, but they didn't have it in platform yet, right? By the way, Ford, I just drew this for you now. Look at where Ford opened up today, right at the fib line, right? Every major stock doing that. What's going on with Baba? Whatever happened with it. All right, so it looks like we might be getting the rollover on the 5 minute. What's the 1 minute showing us? I think I might have closed the chart down. Let's see. There we go. Okay, 1 minute showing weakness. Go over to the option on Alibaba. We're looking for this week. I'm looking for more of that 75 delta, 395 by 410. I'm going to go ahead and buy this option. Set it up as one contract. If you want in, guys, if you want in, then just buy it at the ask. Buy it at the natural, which is 405. If you want to negotiate, go ahead and put it in at that 395. All right, place the trade. Keep the bar open where you could see what's going on right now. It's 4 by 15. Again, I'm talking very long time to get this trade placed, right? Read it out loud. You're looking at the 9th of July, 202.50 put long at 395. We're going to buy to open that position, duration for the day only.
Order filled.
All right, so we got filled on that trade. Make sure you're reading it out loud when you do it, right? There's my +1 right there. I got filled at 395. Right now it's at 380 by 4, right? So, oops, not what I wanted to do. Let's put that back. Let's grab this here. I am not used to working with one monitor. I have 6 monitors here, and I have to do all of this off of one monitor, all right? So if we get above that 202 level, that's where you'd be stopped out, above that blue zone, because we could easily stretch back up in here before we fail for another run to the downside. Could easily happen. We're sitting at 10:15 this morning. Well, 10:15 candle. So it's 10, 11, 12 this morning, right? So we've got some time. Excuse me. But let's see where it goes. Let's see. What's the advantage of TradeStation versus TOS as a platform to execute trades? I find that building out advanced orders are easier on TradeStation than on TOS, right? I can get code written for it fairly easily. There are people to write code for TOS, but I can't do things, some of the same things with it that I can here. Now, TradeStation, on the other hand, has a horrible scanning system, right? Their options data, you got to fake the options data some way to get around to look for certain things in the options pricing, right? Which is just nuts in the grand scheme of things, okay? But for me, again, it's more comfort and just the ability to have multiple screens open and change platforms. Color is a big thing for me. My eyes going, right? As I get older, my reading vision's getting tougher, right? I like black as really black, where TOS, none of the black is really black. It's blackish. Let's see. We'll take a look at that one there. Text to speech. Got it. Yeah, text to speech would be great if I could rely on my speech. My Brooklynese would mess that up too much. Happy Muhammad. Yeah, and that's it. Hector, listen, I use Sprint. You may use AT&T or Verizon. You like one better than the other. There's nothing right or wrong about it. It's a comfort zone. Easy language in TradeStation. The Syncco, they lie. It isn't easy. I took a class on it. The first day, I spent 2 hours trying to learn the language, and the next 2.5 days was a 3-day class. I traded on my platform in their class because I'm not a programmer. That's why I said have other people write for me. But guys, for me, I use my Omega charts, and that's very simple to write a filter for. The language is very easy to do, but that's just me. I like to be able to do stuff like this. So I want to create a filter here. I am going to, very easily set up what condition that I want to put in there, right? Whether I want to put in price, volume, right? So I want my close. I can put my range in as a value somewhere between 50 and 200. Right? I want to have optionable inside of there. Symbol groups, optionable stocks. There's 1,500 stocks there. I want to add volume, which goes under price and volume. I want at least 1 million shares. I don't care about a top side. I don't care about a below. That's not important to me. Right? I can add other conditions in there. So specifically things that I've created, I want to make sure there's enough movement during the course of the day. So I want to have the wildest average true range. Everything I've created has RR next to it. So I know I did it and didn't come with a platform. Right? I want to make sure the stock moves at least $4 a day from high to low. I now have 40 stocks in there. Right? And if I look at this condition, this is how difficult it is to write the code. Wildest average true range with a setting of 13 greater than 399. That's it. Easy language would be this long. Right? With another 10 lines of code that aren't really needed in there, just the fluff type stuff. Right? So there's a lot of great things that I can do. That's why I use 2 different platforms. Right? I don't program anything to do things on on TradeStation, but I do my own programming here. Version 10 has radar screen. So does version 9.5. I use 9.5 again just because I'm familiar with it. There you go, Voodoo. I can't use text to speech. No one wants to see exactly. Let's see. Yeah, I had the LASIK done, Troy. I had it done. It was great for my vision. I had 2200 vision. Now I'm 2025. Vision's great. It's the reading that goes. It's not the vision part. All right, let's see. There was one that someone had pulled up there. Let's take a look real quick. Who was it? CARV, right? Just Carvana. No, Carver. CARV. Yeah, why? I have no idea. This is not one I would ever have had on a watch list. It's not one I ever would have traded. It's not one I would chase personally. Don't know who they are, what they do, why it's doing what it is. I mean, they gapped up to 18. Is this a Reddit stock? They're not optionable, so that takes it off the list for me. And even if they were, when they closed at 10 or whatever that price was in there, about $10.50, and then now at 40, 37, there wouldn't be any options up there anyway.
Rob, this is like a low float play. It's like a low float Reddit play. There's like 35 million. It's a $35 million company, and like how many shares are there? There's like 1 million shares out there. So this is like not.
Yeah. Okay. So it's just the hook.
Not anything that you or I would ever. Whatever.
As I said, it would never at $10. It wouldn't be on my list,
right?
At all. So how you doing, Spencer?
Good. How was the surgery? The eyes are good?
Oh yeah, it was a long time ago. I had it done years ago.
Okay.
It worked out wonderful. When the doctor showed me when I was done, the doctor said this letter E was about this big, right? About 2 feet big. He said that's what you used to be able to see.
Wow.
That's the biggest you could see. And now I could, 2025. So that's great. But reading vision, they told me with the LASIK, your reading vision's going to deteriorate quicker. So need the glasses.
Okay.
That's why I like everything big on the screen. That's why I have 6 monitors. I don't have to scrunch everything down.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah. All right. So we got a couple more minutes here. Let's go ahead and keep looking. Let's see. I went back to that. Car bank. Yeah, we'll look at ALF. Alfie, let's see. So again, $14 stock. Here's what I'd be looking. If you're looking at this play here, if it's optionable, I'd be looking at a move back below the 8 moving average, the pink line. If I can get that move down below there and a rollover, I'm in. Bearish. If that's where I would be in, but it's not optionable. So not my cup of tea. I wouldn't. You could short the stock, but that's really a decision of whether or not you want to take on that risk profile or not. That's why I like. There you go. Mike said there were no options. That's why I like the optionable stuff instead, right? And guys, you don't need a lot of trades. You don't need to find a lot of trades. Here, see, look, this is one system that I use, from May 20th to July 7th, right? So what are we talking about? May to June 6 weeks? Are you okay with a system that makes you about $1,000 a week? If you took every one of these trades, and 1 for yes, 2 for no, if you're not okay with a system that makes you $1,000 a week, tell me, because I'll tell you how to make it $2,000 or $5,000 or $10,000 a week. What if any option do you play with? I'll take a look at that in a second, Emily. I don't even know. I didn't even know it was possible to connect 6 monitors to a computer. I guess you could buy a splitter. Happy Muhammad, if you go to my YouTube channel, I have a video on building a 4-pack that we did. We bought all the stuff on Amazon, very inexpensive. It runs off my laptop. It needed 2 little switches. You'll get all it, and you don't have to buy them through the links that we have on there. Buy anything you want, but you'll see everything inside of there to add 4 monitors to your laptop, which would give you 5 monitors to work with. And you can make it 6 monitors, right? This is an actual system. It's not off a laptop. This is an actual system that has video cards that are 4-port video cards. I have 2 4s, so I could add 7th and 8th monitor, but it would cover. Can you guys see it? No, there's a window over here. Yeah, you can see. It would literally be out here in my window and cover the window, which I won't do. I want the light. I need the light in here. Right? All right, let's see. Yeah, good. Happy Muhammad. Check it out. See what you think. Guys, I send a trade out 2 to 3 times a week. It seems to be 2 times a week lately. All the details are right here, right? I tried to lay this out for you. This is everything from May 20th. Every single trade. You can go back and check every one of them. They're all posted on our site. Go ahead and get yourself registered. It's free. I need your name and an email address so I know where to tell you that, hey, we've got a trade out there today. So you can get the video and look that you could take that trade for tomorrow, potentially. Right? We had, I don't know, what is this? 13 trades. 2 of them never went off. You can see on LMND and Plan, we never got an entry for it. It moved against us. We never got into the trade. Visa, I just put that on the 7th, which was for Wednesday. We did not get an entry. We're waiting for it, right? It's a bullish position. I doubt we're getting it today. And the other ones were winning were trades we took. Only one of them went against us. It was a $600 hit on Alibaba, right? $6,468.75 has been our P&L on these positions, taking 2 contracts. So that's what I said. If $6,000 in 6 weeks isn't enough, do 2 contracts. That would be $12,000. Do 10 contracts, and that would be $30,000. See where I'm coming from? Rate of return is the same. It doesn't matter. If you're looking for the bigger dollars, do that. Start with smaller amounts. Well, Rob, I can't afford to do 2 contracts. Do 1, take the first target I show you, and call it a day. On PANW. Actually, no. Let's look at Plan. Well, Plan, we didn't get an entry. Let's look at PM. PM, we moved up. The entry was taken. The first target was hit, right? We're still in the trade. Actually, no, we're out of the trade because this was our initial stop. Our stop moved up to about here, and we were taken out of the trade about $99 or so, right? Call it a day. I don't remember the exact number on PM. Let's see. 101. So we taken out at 101 was where our stop was on that entry, that second stop, right? So we got taken out. We were done. We made a little bit of money on it on that one, 225 total on PM, but we're waiting on Visa right now. Visa, we don't have an entry yet. And if we hit our stop before an entry is taken, the trade goes away. We don't take the trade. We're not going to take it. Our low today was 237.07. That's our high. 235.11. So we're still safe. But if I hit 235 today, this one goes, there's no trade. Right? Why? Well, it moved against us. We never got a chance to take it. I'm not going to fight from down here to take the trade. Christian, the YouTube channel is WealthbuildersHQ. But guys, they're scrolling across the screen right there. I appreciate you guys doing that, putting in the tradewithrob.com/go. Right? Go ahead and jump in there. I know Jen is dropping that link in there for you guys as well. Yeah, guys, and wealthbuildershq.com is where you will get a ton of content from us for free. I do a free class every Monday at noon, just like this. Yeah, you can make money. What about the mental aspect, or is it relevant? The Postman, it's funny. I did 2 videos today that were, and they go up on our Twitter, they go up on our Instagram, they go on Facebook. My social media manager handles where all of it goes. I do the content, he puts it all up for me. I don't post anything like that. I did 2 videos today talking about mental preparedness. What do you do? Part of it was my morning prep of what I do to get myself ready, right? What are you doing mentally to get yourself ready? The mindset is much more important than the trade setups are, Postman, without a doubt. Jeff said, when you say the entry is taken, that's buying a minimum of 65 delta, 65 to 85, calls or puts at the strike price. Yes, it's exactly what it is, Jeff. Happy Muhammad, I appreciate you dropping the Twitter in there for me. Thank you very much. Postman, you're quite welcome. You know, I try to get all the questions I can. Sometimes they just move too quick and I can't see them all. If it hits a stop before taking the trade and at a later date, it goes up to the entry level, would you enter it given it was a reversal? It really depends on the setup. So if my entry was, and I'm going to really zoom in on this for you guys, all right? So I can make it a little bigger on the screen. Okay. If my entry was, I needed to come back and retest the 237.50 and bounce. It didn't happen. So for me, if we moved up and this just became, let's try that again. If we moved up and this was the candle, I would not take it unless we came back and retested that level in there and then bounced. Then I would consider it. But just the breakout candle itself, no, absolutely not. I don't do it. I am very much a believer in a retest. Guys, if I can get you to do nothing else after this but wait for retests, take the trade twice. If you're doing funded trades, take a practice or a non-funded trade with a retest. If you're a breakout trader, I mean. If you take the breakout, wait for the retest and the bounce and compare your results to each other. I have students over and over again that switch their thinking process away from breakouts into retest. Now, there are some just you're high strung and man, you just, woo, full steam ahead, baby. I just needed to rock. You're not going to wait for the retest. It's like watching paint dry. Oh my God, this is horrible. And you're going to be doing something else and miss the retest, right? I get that. For me, my personality, I need certain things to happen, right? I got music on in the background because I can't sit even with myself talking by my, in a class like this, I can't sit there by myself without noise, right? Structured noise. I know from a trading psychologist I worked with that I need music, a TV. I don't really want to hear talking of people, conversations. I know babies crying, construction equipment, that would drive me nuts, right? Dogs barking drives me, and I got 2 of them, drives me crazy when I'm trying to trade. I signed up for your $20 course. Is that different than Wealth Builder? I'm not sure it was $20 free Frank. Send an email to support at our company and we can answer that for you. If it hits the stops before taking the trade, all right. So JJ, I hope I answered that question for you. Good, AJ. Excellent. I appreciate it, Troy. Thank you very much for that. All right, guys, gals, right? If you brought your pets, cats and dogs, the fishies too, I think we're about done, right? We're going to wrap it up, right? Keep your eye out on the market. Make sure you're focused for what's going on. Make sure you look for those reversals. Watch today with the big move we've already had. Just deal with what's going on. Manage your stops well. Right? Stay focused on the quest to becoming a great trader. Keep crushing it. Folks, remember, you're just one trade away. That's it. Spencer, my friend.
Hey.
I think we're good here, sir.
It is an interesting day. There's a lot of emotions in chat this morning. A lot of emotions. First big red day in a while. So people were fired up this morning. Hopefully a little bit less emotional now. It's been there have been some reversals in the market in individual stocks, but at least we stopped going down here. So great job today, Rob. To your point, all it takes is one, but you're all about controlling your risk, and I appreciate that. So
that channel on ES was still there. We're still focused in it. Just be careful today.
Yeah.
Awesome, Spencer. Thanks for the comments. I appreciate it, man.
Thanks a lot, Robert Roy. Everyone, guys, drop a like, smash a like for Robert. We appreciate him spending an hour with us every Thursday. Smash a like, do it for Robert Roy. Do it right now. Thanks.
Do it. Come on, do it. We'll talk to you next week, Rob. All right, take care. Thanks.
All right. I figured what I would do for the next few minutes is just kind of hang out with you all. It's been such a weird day. Like I said, first largest sell-off we've had in quite some time. Not that sell-off is maybe a bit of a strong word, but in any case, let's just bring up my Benzinga Pro and we'll look at some stuff here together. So there have been some reversals today. AMC trying to bounce, well, it did bounce, right? I'm not just saying this because I've seen what the chart's doing, but even as it was going up, I was skeptical, of this bounce. This is like a classic, sell the rip bounce, that green candle, right? Classic, just fade that, right? So it's being faded a little bit here, but we are green from the opening bell today, ready for the session, but green from the opening bell at AMC. A lot of what I would call quote unquote low quality names in the green today, right? If you look, I've got my scanner here on Benzinga Pro. I'm looking at all the stocks that are up and down from the open. That's what I look at from 9:30 till now. And you look at what's leading the charge here, and it's BNGO, right? It's UONE, right? Carver, CARV is not on this filter because I filter it by market cap. UONE, Fubo, right? A lot of these names that have just been beaten down. Workhorse, right? Let's look at Workhorse today. And I apologize if my charts are not showing up because the charts are being super funky today in Pro. We're working on that. Here's a daily. I mean, Workhorse is one of my leaders today, right? It's up 11% from the open, up 3% for the day. And, this is Workhorse we're talking about, right? So a lot of lower quality names leading the charts today. Let me catch up. Penn coming back. Yeah, you know what? Look at pen. Let's go bigger. Bigger, go home. Again, apologize for charts. Cooperate with me. Cooperate with me. No, okay. Not going to cooperate with me. Fine. I may just have to go to like Webull or Fidelity, one of the platforms that I use. Because our charts. There's a 1 minute chart in pen. Yeah, wow, okay. It's trying. I mean, look at GNOG, right? Go Nugget Online, up 9% from the opening bell, is also on my list, right? FUV on my list. All right. So yeah, and I don't know if I would totally, throw Golden Nugget in there with like the quote unquote lower quality basket, but you are seeing a lot of these types of names lead the charts today. You know what's not leading the charts today is Newegg, everyone's favorite stock from yesterday. Let's go to a 15-minute chart on Newegg. Yeah, we'll go bigger if we can. There we go. Okay. Wow. Yeah. I mean, like, if I was long, which I'm not, but if I was, I would like find a level, like the level that you gotta, call it a day on, right? Stop yourself out. I mean, normally I would say yesterday's close. I would look at yesterday's close, look at the after hours high, after hours low, pre-market high, pre-market low. In this case, we're below all of that right now. Low of the day is important for the moment. That's 46.19. That's important. I don't really know where I would stop myself out below that. I would probably just sell. I'd probably just sell. If it fell below the low of the day, I would just sell. But that's me, right? That's just how I would approach it. Look at the float on neg. What is the float? The float's not that small on neg, I think. CLNE, Johnny's talking about. Yeah, I mean, lower quality. Oh, God damn, right? Lower quality name, right? Been beaten down this year. Having a good day. A lot of these lower quality names having a good day today. That's there are pockets of green. You can look at. Let's go back to the scanner tool. Pockets of green. Moderna. I'm seeing some healthcare green today. Look at space. Space is up 5% from the open. Space. Pockets of green in an overall down market. Do we trade crypto too? I don't know if I'm the best person to ask about crypto because my crypto, like I own Bitcoin and Ethereum, and I never intend to sell, right? So for Bitcoin trading, like you can trade anything technically, right? Let me get the chart of Bitcoin up here, right? If it'll cooperate, which it may not, because for Bitcoin trading, what I would suggest, if you're really looking to like actually actively trade Bitcoin and crypto in general, we do have a couple of shows where people do that. Tuesday nights at 7:00, Trading Nomadic, Tuesday at 7 p.m. He actively trades crypto. The Moon or Bust guys will actively trade, although they are long-term bullish. They'll actively trade some altcoins. That's Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 1:00. And technically, no, that's really it. Is just as far as like active crypto traders, right? Most people are I think like me, just buy and hold. So I'm not really the person to talk to because my advice is always the same, which is I'm not selling. It's just a diversifier for me. So sorry, Mr. Maloney, I'm not really too helpful there because I'm not I'm not selling my Bitcoin or Ethereum. Granted, I don't have like a boatload of money in either of them, right? There's small positions for me. But how is Wish doing? Yeah, all these, I said lower quality. It fits in that bucket, right? GameStop. Oh, they all look identical, right? So now the question is, have they all turned? So okay, GameStop. Let's go here. Let's pull up a view up for fun. Okay. Have we turned for the day in GameStop? Is the question. AMC, we're at just about at the high of the day, just about. So that's interesting. Wish, same thing as GameStop, right? That's the question now. We very often will see what happens between 9:30 and 10 to 10:15 can be very different about than what happens the rest of the day. A lot of times you do see reversal in that first 30 to 45 minutes of the day, right? That's why Dennis, for example, doesn't trade past 10:30, right, on any given day, right? Because that's when the reversals happen at around 10 o'clock, and then the trend for the day is more or less settled in. So is this the reversal for the day in Wish? Potentially. Let me catch up. Markets are down. Yeah, I mean markets are down, but I'm looking at from on an opening basis, right? And a lot of these names are up. How about like big tech, which carried us the past few days? Just kind of hovering, down for the day, but up or flat from the open. Nvidia. What, Amazon? Where's Amazon? Probably the same thing. They all look the same. Amazon's up. All right. Whoa, that's not what I wanted to look at. Micron. All right. Micron. Come on, 15-minute. Help me out here. Okay. What was the question on Micron? Have we found support? I mean, God, we talked about this morning. Get rid of that view up. On a daily, oh, jeez. Oh, man. Does that look like it wants to fall off a cliff or what? Look at that channel. Look at that downtrend. Oh, my goodness. Okay. How have we found support? What are these lows? 76, 76, 76, 76. It's the low of the day. 76. Yeah, it's certainly a support. You can call it that. But you know that saying, right? The more times stock hits support, the more likely it's going to fall through it. Same goes for resistance too. Yeah, you have an out, right? If you want to go long Micron, you have an out. We talk about controlling your risk all the time, right? Thinking about how much you're risking, how much you can lose. You want to go long Micron? Stop yourself out at 76 even or 76.10. I don't know. 75, high 75s. Stop yourself out there, right? And then yeah, if that happens, you lost. But at least you're, controlling your risk there because this looks like it wants to keep going lower to me. So, oh yeah, and turn around and flip it on the short side. That too. Buy some puts. If that happens. Wait, somebody asked about Neo, right? Who's that? Games. Come on, charts. Sorry, guys. Just having one of those days. Well, I can't pull up a chart in Neo. Let's refresh my screen. See what that does. Would love to help you out on Neo. I'm looking at a different platform. If I look at Thinkorswim, which I have open throughout the day as well. So, well, same thing, up for the day, Up from the open, I mean, right? I don't know, guys. Do you really want to come in and buy any Chinese stock right now? NEO is sort of in a different basket than what I would call like the big tech, right? Baba, Baidu, JD, et cetera, et cetera. All right, these charts are just not, they're pissing me off right now. Just lost them all. So I don't know if you really want to be that person to come in and buy any Chinese stocks here. That's just me, right? I'm out of China. No intention of buying back in. I guess a trade is one thing. But all these like rallies today in all these names, they just don't seem strong to me. It's just, especially if you look at AMC, which is sort of my proxy for a lot of these names. There's no meme ETF, right? So, but AMC sort of is your leader, and it's not. Come on, I just lost all my charts, so I'll take that off the screen. Because I use AMC as my proxy, and I see AMC up today, but if you look at a daily chart, it just looks like it was in this range and it broke through the floor of the range. It doesn't look good. There's a reason Dennis bet me it would see 40 before 67. He just won the bet. I owe Dennis some donuts. I don't even know where Dennis lives. I don't know how I'm going to get him donuts if I don't know where he lives. But, oh yeah, Herd Scrambler. Let's take a look at the transports, if we can. Let's see if the T-port works for me. All right. Transport's getting hammered. Yeah, I saw that this morning too as well. Of course, I can't look at a chart, so it does me no good. But yes, transports are down. T-port is your levered transports fund. That's down today. Everything that's quality is down. Almost everything. Okay. Tesla at a session high. Well, all right, that's something, I guess. Didn't Tesla just have bad news this morning? Right? We didn't talk about that. Let's go to the Tesla news feed here, right? We've got the China Passenger Car Association said Tesla sold 33,000, a little over 33,000 China-made vehicles in June. Wasn't that down month over month? I think that was down month over month. Here. Tesla's China sales slumped to 25,800 in April before bouncing back to 33,400 in May. So yeah, it was a little bit lower than May's number. And they're lagging NEO and X. Well, obviously they're lagging NEO and XPeng in that regard. But also they cater to different markets, right? Isn't NEO more high end? Yes, Ron Willis. I'm aware of this as well. I'm sure our dev team is fighting through it right now. Oh, not going to cooperate. All right, that's why we have other tools. That's why we have a scanner. That's why we have movers. That's why we have screeners. We have Squawk, right? Let's turn Squawk on. Let's see what Charles has to say about today. Oh, you know what's going to suffer? What typically suffers the most in sell-offs is recent IPOs, right? Look at the donut chart. Yeah. If we do get into a period here of prolonged weakness, I'm not saying we are, but if we do, I would pull up ticker IPO. I would pull up ticker LZ, pull up DNUT, S, any of these recent IPOs. They don't have institutional support typically right off the bat. So I would look for those to be weak if we get into a prolonged sell-off here, which, we're down for the day, but we've stopped going down for the moment. But IPOs typically will lag, will be extra weak. Just because they don't have like defenders. You have your underwriters who are locked up, your insiders, but they don't really have big, very too many defenders on the street. So I'd watch Donut, LegalZoom, those guys. If we ticker IPO, use your IPO ETF. Oh yeah, Overstock. They got the big price target today. That's not Overstock. Big price target today, right? From, it wasn't Needham, right? They think that Overstock is in the early innings of self-help.
MITQ halted on a circuit breaker at the high, $19.94. Michael India Tango, Quebec.
Okay. Anyway, I think Overstock is in the early innings of a self-help initiatives, while a new management has eliminated EBITDA losses from the Medici Ventures blockchain portfolio. They like population migration as a tailwind. Okay. People moving, need to buy stuff, buy furniture. I still have never bought anything on Overstock. Has anyone actually bought anything on Overstock? I have not. I'd be curious if anyone. Let me know in chat. Has anyone actually bought anything from that store? Would love to know.
SIEB, Seabird Financial, getting a pop to the high now. Sandy India Echo Bravo.
It looks like I might have my charts back, which would be great. Nope. Let's try that one. Yeah, I got some charts. There we go. All right, Overstock. Wow. I don't know if that was a street high price target. Let's find out. Go to our calendar. Go to Overstock. Actually, no. We'll go to the details widget. We'll go here. Go ratings. What's ratings? Is it a street high price target of 150? Yes, it is. Street high. Needham. Price target 150. Very bullish. Very nice day for let's zoom out. I know who is on Twitter. Is it Mark Cahodes? He's been very bullish Overstock for a while. I think it's Mark Cahodes. You guys are funny. All right, back to the movers tool, or the scanner, I should say. I'm looking for action. Let's sort by what do we see in the past few minutes? SPLP is moving. Don't know what that is. Oh, all right. It's moving. I don't know why. Steel Partners. That's your biggest mover in the last few minutes. SPLP. Biggest upward mover. On the downside is PAGS, right? PAGS. Oh, what happened there? Wow. Wow. CCIV. Isn't the merger coming up, or the merger?
ALF Alfie getting a pop here. Liz Clayman from Fox Business tweeting, yes, Newegg may be the theme stock du jour, but ALF, which also has the Reddit crowd nod, has skyrocketed over the past week, plus 500%. Company CEO appearing on Fox Business at 3 p.m. today.
Okay.
That's Alpha Lima Foxtrot.
TV CEOs on TV, never underestimate what that can do. We talk about it usually within the context of Kramer and Mad Money, but never underestimate what a TV appearance can do.
Shares of ALF getting a pop here on that now, $15. 4 cents for the day, ALF.
A couple of stocks on my radar I'm watching Solo. Okay, speaking of CEO interviews, we'll have the CEO of Solo electromechanical vehicles on the Power Hour today at 12:30, about an hour and a half from now. I'm also watching Stellantis, STLA, their investor, their EV days today, right? Their investor/analyst EV presentation is today. I know they were seen as lagging behind their peers. I talked about that a little bit this morning on pre-market prep. I put this on y'all's radar last week. As a potential run up into the event. Boy, was I wrong. But I guess in hindsight, what I should have said was movement in one direction or another into the event. Because if it's not good news, it'll go down. But my point was there will be news out of Stellantis this week, today specifically, because today's their event. So, the timing is not great. Obviously, the overall market's down, so that's not going to help Stellantis. But there's your catalyst. That's your catalyst today, and you can go to the news feed, look at all these headlines we have on STLA from this morning. All these headlines. Oh, sorry, Webcoin. I'm sorry. CCIV. I'm sorry, I got distracted. So when's the vote's coming up in a few weeks, right? I don't really know what there is to say about this. And we're in this range, right? Even go back longer term, go back to March. You're in this range of what's the low? 17 to 29, 17 to 30, right? We're like stuck in this channel. I don't really know. Okay, so what's coming up? SPACs Attack is up in 4 minutes, right? We've got the CEO of AvePoint, TJ Jang, will be on the show today. And that'll be on at 11:15. That'll be when he'll be on. But Chris and Mitch are going to be on the stream in 4 minutes or so for SPACs. We've got Power Hour at noon. That show will go long today because Neil's on vacation for the week, so no get technical. So Power Hour will probably go until about 1:30 or 2. We got the crypto show at 2 o'clock. After that, our next live show will be the At the Close show with Joel and I at 3:30. It's Thursday, so we got our cannabis hour at 4. We got Ryan Rosebiani on the stream at 5, and we'll wrap it up with Chance Trades, Chandlo at 6 o'clock today. This platform that's up on the screen is Benzinga Pro. You can get a free 2-week trial. Yes, you. Free 2-week trial. pro.benzinga.com. We always have several offer codes going at the same time. This YouTube 21 is a constant. 20% off any subscription with the code YouTube 20. But we will. I know we just had one for the end of the quarter last week, and I think there may be some other discounts on there. But pro.benzinga.com, regardless, free 2-week trial. You have any questions about Benzinga Pro? You can ask it here, or you can just email the email that's on the screen right now, onboarding@benzinga.com. Ask away, and they will answer. Onboarding@benzinga.com. And there's that. Okay. I think that's going to be a wrap for me here. Let me just go back to my scanner. Okay. What do we got? What's up with Sumo today? That's the one that's been the top of my loser board. Do we have an intraday chart? Nah, it's just one of those days. Maybe this is a sign from God. Step away from the market. Is what that's saying to me. I don't know. What else did I want to pitch? Just PSA, public service announcement. Tomorrow will be an unusual day for us on the stream. We have every quarter, Benzinga does like an all hands quarterly meeting. That meeting is tomorrow, so it's not going to be a normal day. We'll be doing some reruns, basically from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. will be a weird block. There's not going to be the usual stuff. No power hour tomorrow. No SPACs attack tomorrow. No get technical tomorrow. We'll have Trend Spider on tomorrow in that block. We'll have I'm blanking on. Why am I blanking on this name? Wow. Geez. I mean, I know his name is John, but I can't. I'm not thinking of his show name right now. Regardless, the point still stands. Tomorrow from 10 to 2 will be a very unusual block. We're not going to have a lot of live stuff because we all have to be at this company-wide meeting, just so you all know. But after that ends, we'll have Moon or Bust. We'll have trivia. We'll have Money Mitch. The usual stuff today.
Crude stocks.
All right. I threw Charles on mute.
A draw 6.866 million barrels.
Wait,
the estimate was a draw of 4.033 million.
It's because I have Squawk on two different places. All right. That's why. All right, guys, that's a wrap for me. Please remember all the information from our show is meant to be used as informational purposes, not for investing or trading advice. SPACs attack coming up right now. Chris and Mitch, should be a fun show. When isn't it a fun show? Come on. It's always a fun show. All right, I'll see you guys a bit later. Have a good one.